So here's something that should be on everyone's radar. The U.S. Department of Education is being dismantled right now. And whether you're a parent, a teacher, or student, or just someone who cares about fairness and truth in education, you need to understand what's at stake here. In this video, we're talking executive orders, Supreme Court rulings, why this matters way more than people realize, and how to push for small government in education isn't as simple as it sounds. In March 2025, the Trump administration issued an executive order to begin dismantling the Department of Education, not in theory, but for real. This EO ordered the department to wind down operations and return control to states and local communities. Within months, thousands of employees were laid off, including staff from key divisions like federal student aid and civil rights. The Supreme Court gave the green light this July, ruling that these mass layoffs could proceed under executive authority, even without Congress. But let's be clear, legally, the department isn't shut down yet, but practically, it's static. A lot of folks are hearing about this and saying, okay, isn't small government a good thing? Isn't education supposed to be controlled at the local level? But the Department of Education does more than standardize tests. It's responsible for enforcing rights, distributing funds that protect the most vulnerable students. So let me break that down for you a little bit. Title I gives federal funding to schools in low income areas. These funds are used for counselors, reading specialists, and free lunch programs. A, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. This law guarantees that disabled students get the services they need. These services are speech therapy, IEP, special education, to name a few. Title IX protects students from sex based discrimination. That includes sexual harassment protections and, in many states, rights for trans and non binary students. So, if the federal government stops enforcing these protections, what does that mean? Well, it means that the responsibility then shifts to the 50 different states with 50 different levels of willingness and political will to do the right thing. Now, let's bring some nuance here because the debate between big and small government in education often misses this point. Small government sounds appealing. Less red tape, more local control. Your school district gets to decide what your kid is taught. States can innovate, adapt, reflect community values. But here's the flip side of that. When there is no federal oversight, the gap between state widens. What's protected in one civic code may not be protected in the next. If you're disabled, Black, queer, and undocumented, your access to education shouldn't depend on where your parents can afford to live. Let's talk real time effects. The Department of Education's Civil Rights Division is down to a skeleton crew right now. That means complaints of discrimination may go nowhere. Oversight of Title I and IDEA is being handed off to states, but some states don't have the infrastructure or the will to manage it. There's even talk about transferring student loan services to the Small Business Administration or the Treasury. So if your loans in limbo right now or communication has dried up a bit, this might be why. But this isn't a Washington thing, right? It's going to hit local schools and students first. So here's what you can do right now. Find out how much of your local school's budget comes from Title I or IDE funding. Ask questions in school board meetings, not just about curriculum, but about funding, accessibility, and civil rights enforcement. Get loud, that is a must. Vote in your state's Board of Education races. Write to your reps, share this video. These programs shouldn't be dismantled quietly. And don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking this is about freedom or ways. When you dig deeper, you can see that this is about power and who has it and who doesn't. Because education, quality education, is power. So tell me, before I let you go, what would it mean for your kid or your school if the federal Department of Education disappears? Let me know in the comment. If this video helped to break things down for you, hit subscribe, share with someone you know, and keep asking better questions.